We have no money, living on PB&Js, and came to Canada because it's the life you choose. We're Jolly Mule Productions.
Name, age. Yeah, I was like, how am I supposed to introduce myself? Where do we start? So, my name's Perry Perkins. I am 25 years old, and I currently live in Pueblo, Colorado, and I started my own production company with my good friend Tyler Shawn. It's called Jolly Mule Productions.
My name's Tyler Shawn. I'm 25 years old. I'm a self-employed videographer in Pueblo, Colorado, and owner of Jolly Mule Productions.
I graduated college December 2016. Yeah, that's probably like right in the middle of December. I went home for about 2 weeks. I guess I got my liberal studies degree, which I basically had no idea what I wanted to do with it. A good friend from high school had been teaching in Taiwan for, I guess, probably like a year by then. And I just decided to take off after college and go on a trip for about 2 months. I left for Taiwan. Visited him for about 5 weeks, met up with some more friends, went to Thailand right after that, and so that was like my first lengthy experience abroad. I just really wanted to explore that area right after I finished college, because I didn't have to be anywhere after that. I didn't really have any specific goals jobs-wise, so yeah, I just took what little tiny money I had and I went.
So, when I graduated college, I had already spent what money I had left to buy a ticket to Europe. Well, I was planning a trip to Europe for like 2 months. And so I spent all my college money on that. Backpacking is very hard to explain to people, especially like solo backpacking, which I did. I've done a lot of, and it gives you a lot of time to think, a lot of people to meet, a lot of perspectives to attain, and I want to be surrounded by people that share similar perspectives that I've learned throughout the years. one I ended up getting a call back from was Yosemite Bug in Mid-Pines, California.
I was so broke. I went back to my mom's house for like a week, and within like 3 days, I was just like all over the computer trying to find jobs. I super wanted to be out in California because I'd never been out there before. I love national parks, and Yosemite is like, I don't really have any particular reason why Yosemite was like always my favorite. I don't know how something can be your favorite if you've never even been, but it was to me at the time. So I looked up jobs in California, and I found a job at a hostel just outside Yosemite.
Huevo chingona.
¿Sí? No. Chingona es chingona, no, padre.
Are you recording already? You stopped the music too. I'm not even ready.
My breath, drain my lungs, in my heart, this is dead, this is dead. Can't feel you taking till I take that breath, then I weep, this is dead, this is dead. Happening again and I'm now aware of it. Push me again, I'll pretend I adore it. Push me again and I won't feel your flaws. And push me again and again and again till I fall hard onto my
press your luck, so what you gonna do? What you gotta say? What you gonna do? What you gotta say? Green light, late night, chicken if the time's right. Feeling like the perfect place to go and take flight. See around here we don't worry on the.
Yeah, me and Tyler became really good friends when we were out there. Kind of the same passions, the same goals. I'm sure we'll delve deeper into that, but we have a big passion, huge passion for traveling, and we both see traveling as this opportunity to not really only grow ourselves, but like it's really the best way you can go out there and just experience the world and just learn things that you would never learn in a classroom.
I learned I could pick up any day and choose a life that I wanted to go live. Perry, the people were all there, took their time to go out and like be in, like nature became a big thing in my life. But the important thing was like everyone had a very important story to tell, or very interesting story to tell, and so many different perspectives that we've learned. They all have their story, and that's something I really enjoyed about traveling to to different places and living in different places. Like California has a special place, and I'm sure, as Perry said, Yosemite has a very special place in our hearts.
I could like up and move to a different state tomorrow and it wouldn't bother me. One, because I try to stay in contact with people I've met along the way that are like important, and so I'm not really like losing connections by moving anywhere. I see changing your life as like an opportunity to meet more people and learn new things and just discover different parts of your life that you maybe hadn't uncovered yet. So yeah, I don't see it as like a drastic change. I just see it as like a welcome change that I would do at any time.
Well, what are we eating?
I think, well, they're ribs. I don't know what specific ribs they are.
They look good.
It's very nice out right now.
No, eso es así.
¿Y tú?
¿Quieres un brillo para tus labios?
Andy's getting ready.
This isn't the first thing he shaved on me.
It's not the first thing he shaved on you?
Go, bro.
Jack used to shave his legs, right?
You better just not talk. So me to the camera.
My name is Estefania Stewart. I am 21 years.
And I am Zachary Stewart, and I am 25 years old. And we live in Avon, Colorado.
Cuando lo conocí a él fue algo nuevo para mí, no conocía nada de inglés y toda nuestra comunicación, como lo ha dicho él anteriormente, fue por teléfono y fue algo nuevo para los dos, yo creo.
Yeah.
Nuestra aventura en Yosemite fue algo increíble, fueron mis primeros caminos y ay, quiero llorar.
Yeah, I know, está divertido. I walked into the kitchen one night and Fanny and her uncle Sos were sitting there. No. It was Yvonne, yeah. Yvonne and Fanny were sitting down and they were just having a conversation, but it was in Spanish, and I took a look at Fanny and I was like, wow, California seems like it's going to be pretty nice. Being at the Bug, we started to get to know each other a little bit better, and then May 27th, I asked Fanny to be my girlfriend. And from that point on, it was just a love story. It was almost unreal.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry.
No, it'd be good for the documentary.
No, it's bad. I don't want to cry.
Hey everybody. I'm Tyler. I'm Zach's best man. I wrote the speech earlier and I cried the entire time. So I'm likely going to cry a lot in this.
The day that her visa was up and she had to go back to Mexico, that really, it was almost like a heartbreak, but you knew that you were going to see the person again, so it made you happy that you're at that point of almost letting go.
I know as Zach grows, you will grow as well. As he dances through life, you will dance with him. When he hurts, you will hurt. And when he loves, you will love even stronger.
the time I was there was 7 days. And on the 6th day, after being very nervous, I finally asked her parents to marry her. And they were unexplainably happy to have me a part of the family, which was really awesome because they just kind of really accepted me, and I kind of noticed that this was probably the fact that Fanny was talking such good words about me to her family, and that really made me happy. I've never really had someone that just genuinely loves me so much as Fanny does.
No one loves more than Zach. No one listens more than Zach. And no one teaches more than Zach. Until now, I've met no one more deserving of his love. Even now, I fall short. I'm sure I'm a wreck right now. I wrote that as well. Because we listen without judgment. We live without limitations. We love without reservations.
I'm not speak English good, but I'm trying now, and I have a school for 2 days in the week, and he's my reason for speak English, and my family and future for more friends, and I like it, the new language, and now I'm trying for second.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really good experience for understand one more language. It's hard for it's very sorry. Es complicado para una persona y yo creo que los que tratamos una segunda lengua es algo extraordinario.
It's for you. You make me very happy.
Mama, I'm coming home.
One, two, three. ช้างช้างช้างช้างช้างน้องเคยเห็นช้างหรือเปล่าช้างมันตัวโตไม่เบาจมูกยาวยาวเรียกว่างวงมีเขียวใต้งวงเรียกว่างามีหูมีตาหางยาว
Should we do it facing that direction before, so the people aren't in the back?
Sure.
Or should we just go?
Just go.
Okay. How's it going? My name's Justin. I'm from Carmel, California. And right now, I am taking the winter off, but I just spent the last 8 months living and working in France. Obviously, this is the Bachelor with 3 graces. Taking a video. Okay, so I met these 2 crazy guys, Tyler and Perry, on the elephant sanctuary farm in Thailand, northern Thailand, outside Chiang Mai. that's the last time I saw these guys. One thing led to the next, and I became a tour guide. I started working for a travel company, and they sent me to France. Bonjour les vaches! Bonjour vaches! It was quite an experience. I learned French. I traveled all around the country. I worked with local people. I rode, there were cycling trips, so I cycled all over the Loire Valley, which is southwest of Paris. And I guided Americans through this Loire Valley. And it was an amazing experience.
When we went on a trip to Vietnam, to Cambodia, we ended up in Thailand. We donated our time. But we volunteered at an elephant sanctuary for 7 or 8 days. And that's where we met Justin. Justin was also a volunteer there. And he just stood out to us because he's this really very, very free-spirited guy who he really takes the time to appreciate just situations that he is in, and just nature and like animals and all that stuff. And he just has a lot of I guess just really not eye-opening, but good perspectives on the world.
Perrier for all!
About, 5 years ago, I decided that I was going to finish school, and my goal was to find a job in Europe, and I wanted to live and work in Europe. I didn't know how that was going to happen. I didn't know when that was going to happen, but I wanted to spend 3 to 5 years in Europe, and I wrote it down. And after I got this job, I was going through old journals, and I found this goal, this visualization that I had made 5 years earlier about wanting to go to Europe and live and work there. And without even consciously thinking about that goal, that's what happened. And I realized, this is great. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do. When I think about feeling successful, I think about that moment where I was looking through my journal and I saw what I had written, what I had wanted, and how life made it happen. And for me, that was just such a revolutionary experience. And now I've already visualized my next 5 years. I'm lucky because I have 2 very, very supportive parents. And so they wanted me to get my bachelor's. I got my bachelor's, and now they are so proud of me. I told them I was leaving for France and I didn't know when I was coming back, and the joy on their faces that I was going across the Atlantic to have a foreign experience in a way that not every traveler gets. They knew that this was as good of an education as I would get at Berkeley. So for them, there was a bargain. I went to school, and to them that was an idea of success. And after that, I really struggled to remind myself that I am free to define my own success now. And that's something that I think all students go through.
We walk forward with eyes closed. Each step led.
During high school, I'd worked for Hy-Vee for like 3.5 years, which is a grocery store in Iowa, kind of comparable to like a King Soopers. And yeah, so I asked the HR manager there if they had any job openings, and they got me a job in the aisles online department, which was you could order groceries online and stuff and get it delivered to your house, you know. So I worked that computer system, and all the orders came in, and I would just take a shopping cart and walk through the store and shop these orders, load them up, and deliver them to people's houses. I hated it. You know, I didn't have any time to do the creative stuff that I wanted to do. And yeah, I mean, I needed money, but there was a point where it's like, the money wasn't worth it. And so yeah, I quit both of those after 6 months because I just couldn't do it. And I went to the World Cup. Norway and Amsterdam and Iceland on the way home, and then a week after that, moved back out to Pueblo.
It's cringy or what?
Hey, I go like this.
And so I said, what am I gonna do? And I was hanging out, seeing family, seeing friends, and I went and saw my friend's band, Beyond Bridges. And I saw Ado and them play. And I was just I remember looking at him on stage, and I was like, oh my God, this guy has been working his ass off for like the last year since I've seen him, just pursuing like his passion. For me, seeing someone's like work ethic come about like that. I told Ado like right after the show, I was like, "Yo, I'll buy a camera next week, and we'll start making this happen."
It's like awkward to hold this thing.
It's about a GoPro, dude. Yeah,
I've done like radio stuff. I worked on Homework Hotline, which is like you were directing live TV shows and like working cameras and stuff like that. And I'd written journalism. I'd taken creative writing stuff. I'd done like a lot. I dipped my hand in like a lot of media aspects of stuff, and as mass comm, like major in like marketing too. So I was like, yeah, I totally want to like help them out, and they're doing something cool, and I don't know what I'm doing, so let's do something. And I bought a camera, and I started shooting bands from there.
fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Pour my beer down the sink. I got more in the trunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. Fuck you, I'm drunk. And I'm going to be drunk till the next time I'm drunk. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Project 432, Beyond Bridges, like any band I'd ever shot, they would just say, thank you so much for like what you're doing, thank you for coming, thank you for being a part of this. And it's humbling, it's so humbling, because I mean, it's like the guys that shoot Michael Jordan must have been like, oh my God, I can't believe this is our lives, to just watch the GOAT, and the GOAT coming up to them and being like, thanks for like capturing my life moments or something, and I'm just like, You're doing it for me. I don't know. I'm just happy to be here.
Me and Tyler kind of been just shooting at each other some like ideas, and we eventually just got to the point where it was like we should just try and make this like photo video thing happen, because that's what we love doing. And so within a month we had filed for LLC and started this company, and kind of been grinding away ever since.
Yeah, so typically
He said Perry moved to Pueblo and moved into mom's basement on his air mattress with his minimalist, entire lifestyle. Doesn't even floss. And he moves in the basement, and we just started doing anything we can. We were taking photos at museums.
So we shot for a candidate for mayor.
We were working with this life coach.
Brad Swanson, love and communication coach here again.
First commercial job was for a yogurt company.
I was the photographer at a brew fest.
I do some working photos here and there for like family friends.
We did some miserable, boring work. You always do miserable, boring work to pay the bills, right? You know, like especially when you're trying to start a business. You do anything to stay afloat.
Become somebody, do it. If you want to go in business for yourself, do it. Until the job gets done, and then they talk about how great it is to be somebody they're proud of.
Go for two. Riverboat Ron elects to do it. Joe Webb finds Paul Browning on the slant 2-point conversion there. Panthers get the win 25-24 and celebrate the preseason win.
Paul Browning, 26 years old, living in Colorado Springs. I'm a professional athlete. Went to SISFA Pueblo on a football scholarship. Played 4 years out there. Won a national championship. Was able to be signed as an undrafted free agent to the Cleveland Browns in 2015. After that, was cut after OTAs, signed a contract with the Carolina Panthers. Spent some time there. Ultimately was cut from there as well. And that's when I moved on to arena football. I've been playing arena football for the past 4 years. The Orlando Predators, the Baltimore Brigade, and the Albany Empire.
2.5 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Brigade with one last chance. Hail Mary, 4th and 27. Did you see Paul Browning? Shane Carden throws a Hail Mary. Browning just comes across the end zone, catches and flips over the wall. Wow. A bunch of players in that one, but Browning's got it. Brigade win 49-42. Thank the wall.
So had a pretty good, pretty successful 2 arena football years or seasons. But then last year was invited to the Spring League. Got a lot of hype. Johnny Manziel was there, a lot of other big time ball players. And I got invited, and then within, I want to say four practices, I ended up tearing my PCL. Now in college, I had tore my left, my MCL, and I also did my meniscus. So then, to do the right PCL as a professional now, when my career is more on the line, was tough. Was unable to pass my physical at first, had to go home, rehab, come back after about 5 weeks to Albany, and do a great workout, and got signed again, and then 2 practices in with Albany, ended up tearing my PCL again. So that was a little bit of a setback. So this past 2018 was a lot of rehab. I wasn't able to get back on the field, but it's just set me up for a great comeback in 2019. Whether it's jumping into the Arena Football League or the Alliance of American Football, all to either get back to the NFL, which when it comes to success, I've already been there. I've played in the NFL. I've scored in the NFL. Like, I mean, not a lot of people can say they've done that, but that's something that I was able to accomplish. The toughest part about being a professional athlete is the uncertainty. This is a career where you don't know what is next. You don't know what's on the other side. You can't play forever. This is not a career field where you're going to be in it for 30 years, unless you're playing golf or something. But when you're playing professional football, max, you're looking at 15 years a lot of times, max. But I mean, most people, they only play for 4 or 5 years. So just the uncertainty, going from city to city, the stress you put on your loved ones, because they want to understand, what's going on, how can I move, how can I do this, not understanding or not knowing what's next to come. But at the same time, I mean, it's a give and take, because I play a kid's game, I get paid to play a kid's game, you know what I'm saying? It's a lovely career to be in. Currently still pursuing my professional career, and just hoping for the best.
Shot for a lot of different bands.
We shot this thing in Utah at this big festival, and I remember after I did the video, I was just like, this is really cool. Like, it looks awesome, and I mean, what a moment that we captured for them. And that was probably like one of my favorite parts of it. Is if you talk to a lot of musicians, they're very gracious for the environment that they surround themselves in and that they're trying to make their careers. They are very, very thankful for the things you do for them, especially as I learned as like media people, because you're just trying to help them get their art out there. And I mean, that's your art. I don't know, your art segues art. You're directing your vision, and
we found out that there was this festival coming to Pueblo, the SISFA Festival, and we could submit. There's a bunch of different categories, but basically we're looking it up and we decided we want to do a documentary, or just like tease with the idea of making a documentary. And at the time we really kind of jumped in on that. Didn't really have any idea what we wanted it to be. We knew we had a lot of people we've been working with throughout the last year, and there's like connections and friends that are in multiple cities along the way out in California. And we just decided we were just gonna sit down and interview all these people. Wanted to focus on people in our generation, kind of people around a similar age, just to see people in different walks of life and see what their path is taken for them. And yeah, so that's kind of what our California trip turned into. Was we kind of focused after that on getting footage in national parks for this, and finding the people we wanted to interview and convincing people to interview for us, and yeah, just getting their takes on different things in life.
Do you see all the bottles I have here?
Yeah.
So the person that had a storage unit next to me, and back when I was at the storage units, they did alcohol distribution. They didn't own any brand or anything like that. They just distribute a shit ton of alcohol, and they had like a fuck ton of leftovers, and I saw that. So I told the lady, like, hey, do you like shoes? And she was like, yeah. I was like, oh, let me give you a pair. So I just gave her a pair, and then she was like, oh, do you drink? And I was like, yeah. Like, what do you drink? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I drink anything, really. She was like, okay, well, I have a few leftovers here. Let me give you some vodka, whiskey, Fernet, and 3 bottles of tequila. I was like, okay. Try that again. Hello, my name is Oscar Yaper. I am 25 years old. I'm originally from Chihuahua, Mexico. I now live in Los Angeles, California. And I own a fair trade shoe manufacturing company. We manufacture handmade shoes in Women's Collaborative in the south of Mexico, in the state of Michoacan. And we make shoes like these. So what I did, I just graduated college. I got a job and just started working that one. About 8 months in, my best friend invited me to go on a trip with him to Michoacan in Mexico just to check out some like great food and just go as a tourist. We've never been there. When we were over there, we encountered this community of women that were hand making all of these shoes. We knew that there was going to be like a story behind it, so we got closer to kind of ask and see what the story was. And so there's this lady that she owns this shoe manufacturing company, and she in an attempt to kind of help out her community, she started hiring women from rough beginnings and different kind of backgrounds. A lot of them are like 17 and have multiple kids. Some of them used to get beaten, raped. A lot of them come from like indigenous backgrounds. Some of them like just previous pasts of like abuse and like, you know, rough beginnings. So this lady would take them into her home. She would teach them how to do this leather threading and weaving to give them a job and also a safe place to live and work. So I just thought it was like a really cool idea what she was doing and how she was like supporting her community, and I was like, that's awesome. So I just bought a pair. I thought they were like really cool shoes. And then we just carried on with our trip. We finished it, and then we went back to Denver where we were living at the time. And we started getting a lot of attention. A lot of people wanted to know like about our shoes and like, oh dude, like those shoes are super cool. Like, where'd you get them? And so we started making a few blueprints and everything. They showed some interest. So we flew back to talk to them. We showed them some of our designs. We checked out their facility. They accepted our deal, and we started manufacturing. For me, it's always been really important to kind of like give something back to the community. And from the beginning, even when I finished college, I knew that I wanted to start like a project that would help someone do something or a community achieve something. And I just didn't know how, when, or what I would start doing. 12, 13, and then that's the same for all of them. I mean, it gets really rough. It gets very, very tiring, very exhausting. You don't really, I mean, at the beginning, you really don't see any return. Or, you know, you just kind of like, you feel like you're just wasting your time doing something completely senseless, and just, you know, you're like, you have no direction. For me, I think it was always a little bit about, success was about being free, having the freedom to make your hobbies your job.
Hello? What?
I love Colorado. I love Pueblo. I love a lot of things about my life that are very comfortable. My house, my mom, my dog. Those are all like my day-to-day stories, like the stories that I want to hear. I want to hear how my mom is during the day, how, oh God, if Coco died today, you know, Jesus. And when you meet people from somewhere else that also have their own home stories that you're not used to hearing, it's a very fresh perspective to have on the world and outlook on success, you know, and happiness.
So I think my path, I will admit, has been wonderful as a whole. There's always struggles, but I think that I've lived in a very driven life, which I would say is different than the majority. My name's Clint Shown. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Emporia, Kansas. I am currently...
Start over, look at the camera.
I like looking at you better.
I know.
All right, my name's Clint Shown. I'm from Emporia, Kansas. I'm 29 years old. I'm currently an account manager at Coca-Cola, and my wife and I own our own business also. I think success can be different based on your upbringing, where you're from, what you have in life already. Because, you know, I could have just bought a $300,000 airplane and think I'm successful, but I could also just woke up from living in the streets and woke up today and I could be successful in that also. So I think because of success being different for everybody individually, I think the word success doesn't really quantify what I believe it to be. So I would say fulfilled. Being fulfilled is what success is.
Photobomb, yeah! Why? Ping pong action. Oh, good one.
I've been in management, I mean, really since before I graduated high school. I was in a junior ROTC program where I kind of started my leadership management role. And then I got in the tire business and worked my way up pretty quick in the tire business. Became a store manager at the age of 19 in Casper, Wyoming. And then my family was from here in Emporia, so I moved back here to run the store here. And eventually left there and became a store manager of a local truck stop. Was there for a very short time, and the driver supervisor of the local Coca-Cola here asked me if I'd be interested in becoming a driver. And so I did. Drove for Coca-Cola for a while, then left and drove for a food distribution company. And then Coca-Cola here called me back and asked me to become a salesman, also known as an account manager.
Come on! Oh man, loves him.
All right.
Good picture.
I'm gonna take a video.
One thing that I'm proud of is I bought my house when I was 21 years old. By then I owned my own pickup. I think not going to school gave me the opportunity to immediately get hands-on experience. I think education is extremely important, but for me, classroom education isn't where I felt I should go. It was more about hands-on, what I needed at the time, education. It gave me the availability to begin life, if you will, right away. But early in our family life, the struggle was balancing how much fun to have and how to be a father and how to be a friend to the people in my life. And then as you know, my wife is young, and so us going through, growing up in life together, has been a challenge in general, but again, the help of mentors and the other people in my life is how I've gotten to where I'm at. Right out of high school, my girlfriend at the time and I lost a daughter. She was stillborn, and you know, to go through that early in life really gave a lot of perspective on my life and the others around me. Not only did it give perspective, but it also, I was filled with anger. I mean, I can't even describe to you the anger that I had, the distrust in everybody and everything. You know, and eventually working through that, you know, you turn that terrible situation into a positive light. Because I try to live the life that I preach, I would really tell him to live life today, to enjoy today, enjoy the moment, but know that tomorrow's coming and be prepared for the unknown. No matter what, you have to know that what you do today is going to affect tomorrow, but know that yesterday doesn't have to affect today. Do you have a lot of fun in life? Do you save your money? I personally use the theory that tomorrow may not happen, but tomorrow's probably going to happen. So I want to live a life that I can be proud of, that I can have fun, that I can brag about sometimes. But I also have to know that things tomorrow can be completely different.
My name is Alexander Benjamin, 24 years old. I'm a personal trainer, about to be a nutrition specialist here in Emporia, Kansas, working at Emporia Fitness. When I graduated high school, 2012, there's a lot of just a lot of things going on in my personal life.
I was probably 20 when I started going to the gym, actually going to the gym. And the reason I was going to the gym was so that I could pass a UA. So basically I would go there with my hoodie on, my sweats, and run my ass off so that I could pass a UA either the next day or whatever. But that was the reason why I went to the gym in the first place.
My parents got divorced, and I didn't know how to express myself in a healthy way. So I dove into drugs and alcohol heavily, got myself in a lot of trouble from 19 to about 21.
Yeah, I was skinny as hell. And the reason I couldn't eat right was because the place I was living in, literally, I could not cook food in my kitchen or keep food in my kitchen because mice were eating my food. And our landlord was a, what's the word, slumlord? Yeah, and it was horrible.
I was working at a local restaurant, Jay's Carryout, and I just didn't feel good, man. I just definitely going through depression. And I just didn't feel good, internally. And so I started going to the gym to, honestly, in the beginning, just to get stronger, just to do something.
Oh yeah, shove that in. So good.
Still just struggling with just being sober, honestly.
My dad opened his own photography business way back, which didn't work out. And my mom also opened a yoga studio that didn't work out. So they're very familiar with taking that risk to dive into that and become a personal trainer. And so that's how all this started. And then along that journey, I've always wanted to create my own brand. I always wanted to be my own boss as well. And so I figured why not bring fitness and health, along with like a positive mindset and like mental health as well, and kind of just combine them and make a brand called Good Muscle.
Bada bing.
Going back to the beginning of Good Muscle or before.
Oh man, you gotta turn around.
Oh yeah.
We're like, dang son, this could go somewhere. We could do this. So, what is it? Damn, I am bad. So we were like, you know, we could do something cool here. We could motivate people and not only, you know, get them in the gym and work on their fitness, but help them live, you know, happier lives.
A lot of people's version of success is material things. The number on a checking account, your statement on your bank account, new cars, materialistic things. I think a lot of people think that's what success is.
Tyler, you gotta show yourself. Look at Tyler. Look at this beautiful man.
Beautiful. It was never my intention to necessarily become like the rich and famous to begin with. So I think, but also surrounding myself with, you know, individuals that, you know, wanted to work hard for something they believe in helped a lot, obviously.
And last question is, are you happy?
I am outstandingly happy. And it keeps me on my toes, you know, because everything could flop tomorrow, so.
No, I'm not Jay.
Also has a kid.
Does he look like him too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you
I have no idea.
haven't met him yet?
Oh, cool.
Oh. We'll keep an eye out. This is good. Sirens are killing me. So we're in Calgary, Canada. And we're currently killing time in the city center because I have $13 in my bank account.
And I have negative $30 in my bank account.
We can't afford to travel. We do it
anyways.
It's what we do. And right now we're about to eat leftover pizza from last night, which we strategically wrapped
Because
in a shower cap.
basically we spent our whole budget in our first meal last night.
Had a good couple beers.
So we saved the pizza in this nice shower cap and shoved it in my backpack. And yeah, basically just wanted to say this is how we afford to travel. Well, I guess not afford to travel.
So you caught up on that, and then we'll be meeting up with Jordan Rowe, who is a videographer from Iowa, who we hope to interview when we go to Banff National Park and get some pretty shots of the snow-capped mountain stuff. So on to the next one.
And because I know some of you are asking, pineapple does go on pizza.
Oh yeah.
My name is Jordan Rowe. I'm 21 years old. I'm from Mason City, Iowa, and I'm studying to be a physical therapist, even though I do photo and video on the side as like a side business. So like wedding videography. I made a documentary for a company. I made like travel films, travel photos, stuff like that. So kind of just trying to dip my feet in a bunch of different areas.
So what is your definition of success?
God, I haven't really thought about the question yet. In my eyes, I will be successful when I can do what I love, get paid to do it, and never like stop having fun doing it.
Where are we at, Jordan? We're at Potato Lake. Dude, it's awesome. I have no service. I've always been a fan of icebreakers.
From a young age, I was always taught that success is like when you're doing something you love and it doesn't feel like work. I still don't even know exactly what I want to do with my life, even though I have an interview for PT school in 3 weeks. Like, my success isn't determined by what I'm currently doing, but where I'm going to be happiest and have the most enjoyment in life and get to experience the most life.
That's why it took us so. It literally took us 35 minutes.
Ready. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I'm ready. But not anymore.
Ready?
Good? My success isn't determined by what I'm currently doing, but where I'm going to be happiest and have the most enjoyment in life and get to experience the most life. That's, I guess, when I'm going to be successful. It's not a certain monetary value. It's not at a certain salary that I make or place that I even live. It's going to be like, my success is going to be based on the happiness and that I see in my life. What's going on, dude?
What's up?
How you doing?
How's your flight?
Tyler,
What's up, man?
nice to meet you.
Barry, say hi. Perry, you're crazy, dude.
What?
Perry.
Hi, bud. Hi.
Perry questions, part 2.
Yeah, so the first festival we entered, ended up making a interesting product. Don't even know what you call it, honestly, but Tyler wrote the script and I filmed the whole thing. Tyler acted in it as well, a little bit of acting, if you can call it that. And entered it, didn't win, didn't expect it to, but it's kind of the first thing that we sat down and had a vision for, and I wouldn't say it completely turned out like a vision, but it was something. It was a finished product at the end of the day that we set out to film, did it all in one night, and yeah, that was our first like full project together.
Hey, something happened here last night?
Just missed it.
But every 17 to 20-year-old goes through a moment in their life where they ask themselves what they really want to do and who they really are as a person, and they look back on the life that they've had already, and they pick and choose what parts of themselves they want to go forward with and what parts of themselves they have to leave behind. And I had that moment for sure when I went to college, and that kind of left me with the choice of what can you do that you enjoy doing, and that was really quickly and easily music for me.
And now the camera.
My name is Adrian Hernandez. I am 26 years old. I'm proud to be from Pueblo, Colorado. In the daytime, I work for a family business called Spectrum Community Services, and we work with those with developmental disabilities. It's a very fulfilling job. And at night, I am a freelance independent musician in a band called Beyond Bridges. My definition of success is, well, I think it just kind of depends on what you value. If you value spending time with your family and you do that a lot, then I think you're successful. If you value experiencing things or certain things that you love doing, and you want to push those things forward, and you do so, I think that's successful too. I just think it depends on who values what, and no one can really tell you what you can and can't value, so there's a lot of freedom in that.
Well, we're at the Grand Canyon. As one can see, we got in at like 1:30, 2 a.m. down here. Got in at like 2 a.m. and it's kind of cold. Wasn't that bad, but forgot sunscreen for this hike, which is gonna be a mistake here in like an hour. Too white for this. And then tonight we're headed to Long Beach to stay with Dan, who used to live in Pueblo. He's a beer brewer, really good soccer player, and a great guy. And he lives right on the beach, so it's almost winter in Colorado, and that'll be much needed. So that's all I had to say.
Oh, am I supposed to say?
No, forget it. Forget it. The silent sloth.
Team.
I don't think I'll ever
consider you guys separate?
We almost put Medea on the back of our shirts instead of media. Because I thought it'd be ironic, but I didn't want to explain it when we were like separate from each other.
If people, like, those that didn't get it would just think you were dumb.
What do you mean?
Me? You going?
Yeah, you going?
This is sweet.
All over the lens.
Splattered a little. Nice.
But I might have more parts. I literally bought this, and then this is when I was still in Pueblo, when I was doing a lot of our like social media shit. I don't do that. One more time.
Yeah. Third time's a charm.
I'm Daniel Price. I'm 26 years old. I live in Long Beach, California, and I brew beer for Beachwood Brewing.
There it is. Skull it. Alright. Nice. Let's go see a museum.
So that's the Queen Mary. And then there's one on the left, and that's a cruise ship, which is not as cool because that's just like where, you know, people splurge on their extravagant travel.
Good job. Get a beer now. It's recording though, right?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, cool.
Like our first batch of beer, in no way was it an easy batch of beer to make. We shared it with a lot of people and everyone loved it. And like that was like an immediate like addiction, right? It's like that high that you're trying to chase. But we legitimately liked it too. So we were like chasing that. And it just took off and we like really like dove in head first. Who did it? It was a video.
Tell me where you're from, how long you've been here, and what you do.
Today, and no one knows this except my girlfriend, and now you guys.
To the world.
But it wasn't until today until I truly am like happy. My boss and the Beachwood Brewmaster offered me the lead brewer position in Huntington Beach, and like kind of for the first time.
That happened today.
And kind of for the first time, for whatever reason, just like being appreciated for the hard work that I do, I'm successful.
I think it's crazy to think that you're like ever like not happy. Just like I'm happy to do what I'm doing. Do I love what I'm doing right now? I wouldn't say I like love it. I know I'm gonna love it eventually when I get to the point where I can do all the things that I want to do, and that would make me like ultimately happy, I suppose. But no, like you have to enjoy the process. So the process makes me happy, and like I'm 25 and I've started my own business. Like that makes me happy, and I think it's impossible to be happy, so to say, like like 24/7. But I think generally, like, as a state of mind, like, happy is something I usually am or try to be. I think there's a difference between like happy and like ecstatic and joyous and like all those other different words. But I think happy is just like being comfortable with where you are with a person and just like enjoying the ride, enjoying the process.
And to end it, what is happening tonight and what does it mean to you?
Tonight we will be playing a show with the Wailers, which is, as I'm sure a lot of you know, Bob Marley's legendary band. We're playing at a venue called Pueblo Memorial Hall, which is really a funny thing for me. It's kind of surreal. When I was like 6 years old, that was the first taste I ever had of performing. My mom brought me on stage to sing I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus at Memorial Hall. And I remember being in the green room, being super nervous. I remember going out there and singing, and I like to think I did a good job, and whether I like to think it or not, that might have very well been the moment that I fell in love with performing. And I always would tell myself going back to this building, even older, that I'm gonna play here, I'm gonna play here. And here we are, so it's pretty awesome.
Dude, that was scary. This one's for the lost soul. Hey, we got one more song. Thank you so much, Pueblo. Thank you so much, Pueblo Memorial Hall, for having us. We love you, man. I'm gonna hold you up. This song right here was from the heart, so I hope you guys appreciate it. It's about wishing you just had one more shot with somebody that you lost a little too soon. So. I don't know about you, but 26 just seems too soon. It's like you just stepped into the room, then off to the moon. How was someone like that alone on a flight all that? It seems like lately I'm taking everything for granted. It's like I don't know what I've got till I no longer have it. Here I am, living in my...
It's a very what's the word, man? A very crazy way to live. But yeah, I'm happy making other people happy. You know, so like as long as I'm making other people happy, I'll be happy forever. Boom.
One more time.
That's special.
Yeah, one more time.
Oh, well, I apologize. I'm gonna go change that.
Don't change, bro. You're obviously gold as fuck.
It's the event itself. It's the moments. You show people this.
Look at you make it look like you're fun.
In order to truly feel successful, it has to completely be internal. 100% internal.
This one's for the lost souls who never learned how to let go. This one's for the lovers who never learned how to let it show. Even when you can't stand yourself.
It's the only way I can keep in shape.
So, if you wanna reach me, just ring me one more time. You don't need to leave me, just believe me one more time. If you wanna reach me, just ring me.
If you don't celebrate those the small victories, you know, that can haunt you. You got to celebrate those small victories, because, you know, not every day do you get to do some of the things that, you know, you're able to do.
So I feel like that's probably the biggest challenge, to just stay persistent and continue hustling, to, you know, just never stopping.
Make sure that I'm not closing it into a book for 5 years, that I have reminders about it, and I'm just gonna let it happen. And to me, that's success, is visualizing a life that you want and then allowing it to come to you.
Get hit left and right day after day after day, and you just want to know when it's going to get better. And again, you got to focus on the end goal. And I know the end goal, or the process to the end goal, is the important part, and that's what made me happy.
Just one more time. One more time. Thank you guys so much. We love you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Till next time,
From one second to the next, are you ever like really happy? I mean, we are humans, so we feel a broad scope of emotions, and from one moment to the next. But I would say, generally speaking, I'm a happy person. I love the people around me. I love what I do, and I want to continue to do it. So I don't think you could really ask for anything more than that.
Now here we are with all these people we love, our families, our lifelong friends, and our friends that will last our whole lives. Thank you all so much for being here.
We're happy. Very happy. And now we get to spend Valentine's Day together. And we get to get interviewed on Valentine's Day. What better? But thanks for the opportunity, for letting us be in your film. And
yeah, thank you guys.
Good luck with your guys' journey, because you guys have been a big part of ours.
You know, life gets really, really tough, but you can't give up. You know what I mean? Haters are confused fans, but I'm the man, so I'm trying. Alright, I'm working. I'm trying. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving it my all. I'm trying. I'm giving it my all.
And spread the love. This is Brad the Love Coach saying thanks for listening.
You get what you deserve. On my last nerve, use a chump, Forrest Gump. I was running from my last destination, stuck in
I think we're all here to contribute something. And for me, my definition of success is to have the biggest impact I can on the largest amount of people possible.
All right, what should we call it? Because that's always the first step. You're like, what should we call our thing?
And you know what Morgan said to me the other day? He said, "Did you know your name means happy ass?" And I was like, what? I was like, oh, Jolly Mule. Happy ass. Nice.
I'm Lieutenant Dan. What a man. Cut my legs off and still I stand.
Yeah, I'm happy. God, I live an amazing life.
I've come to realize it's about my perspective on life, and that everything hasn't been great in the past, and that's fine, because it's made me who I am today. And who I am today is somebody that I like and that I love, and that's not something I could have said even a year ago. So I am very happy.
I would say, first and foremost,
try and be happy. Yeah, plain and simple.
It's really tough. The world breaks us up. Flesh, blood, and bone makes us up. Only human at the end of the day. That's what I'm trying to say. Help us on our way. Will we be okay? Although I'm trying. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving it my all. I'm trying. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving it my all. Had to get spiritual, cause the world revolves around the physical. Limbo, limbo, I had to switch it up and live by a different tempo. Matrix, I be Neo, the mask cannot see though. Let's get to the tree, the key is at the Vatican. Miss me, I went mad again. Ancient tea's been turning, something big is happening. No voodoo, keep on practicing. In the end, I'm laughing friend. Laughing friend, I'm trying. I'm giving it my all.